and gaming crew, and in this Diablo 2 Resurrected guide we're going to be showing you guys some really useful bases that you guys want to either keep or trade for the in-game currency, which is runes. So this first item we're going to be looking at, man, it's an Ethereal 4 open socket Arkhan plate. Now this has a very niche use. It can be used for a fortitude to either put on it. Well, it can only really be used to put on your mercenary because it is an ethereal. But I wanted to start off with an ethereal item because these are usually worth a lot more than their non-ethereal counterparts. As we can go here and take a look at this ethereal, it's not the best base, but it is an ethereal Karas that I made a treachery out of, as well as this item right here. Now this is non-ethereal, but it is a thresher. Both of the thresher and the Arkhan plate are really good bases. So anytime you guys see a white version of this on the ground, or it could be gray, you know, if it's gray, make sure you pick it up and check it out because it could be ethereal. It could come with some bonus statistics like a Mage Plate. We're moving on here. We'll go to Mage Plate. We'll just stick on armors for a little bit. Mage Plate, Kraken Shell, any of these with 3 open sockets or 4 open sockets are going to be very valuable. And very niche scenarios call for 2 open sockets on a Mage Plate. Now that one you're going to have to farm in Nightmare difficulty. The rest of these are going to be found in Hell because primarily the Hell variants are worth a lot more. If you guys didn't know, there's 3 different classes of items. There's the base class that can be found in Normal. There's the next class up, which can be found in Nightmare, and then there's the final class that can be found in Hell difficulty. In this example right here for the Mage Plate, it starts off as a light plate, moves up to a Mage Plate, and then finally goes to an Arkhan plate. So with that out of the way, anything that is ethereal, it doesn't even have to be ethereal. If it's got 4 open sockets, 3 open sockets, or 2 open sockets, you definitely want to hang on to it, as any armor found in Hell with those socket requirements will be useful to somebody. So let's move on to shields really quick. I don't actually have a open socket shield, but we're going to be using this defender shield as an example here. It doesn't have to be a defender shield. Any shield that has 4 open sockets is going to be worth some money. You definitely want to be keeping the lookout for... Actually, you know what? I'll just switch to my bases. It's a Monarch Shield, man. Monarch Shields, they're always the go-to for Spirit Runeword bases. They're always the go-to for casters, paladins, sorceresses. They're all going to be the lookout for the Monarch Shield. It's such a good base, man. Like, you really can't go wrong with the Monarch Shield. It has a very high defense value, which makes it really good for those glass cannon like sorceress builds, man, that really need that defense on the shield. Really good block chance. So all around, Monarch Shield, 4 open sockets is definitely going to be worth some money. Now if you guys find a white Monarch Shield on the ground, pick it up, use the Runeword recipe to then add sockets to it, because you never know what you're going to get. If you found that item in Hell, you're definitely probably going to get 4 open sockets. You might get unlucky and get 3 like I did here. So I have 2. I have a Dragon Shield right here, which is another upgraded version of the Kite Shield. It goes Kite Shield, Dragon Shield, and then up to the Monarch. So 3 open sockets can be rolled for some particular rune words, but you definitely want to have that 4 open socket Monarch. Going back to the armors really quick, Mage Plate, like I said, very good with 2 or 3 open sockets. Another good example would be Diamond Mail and Bone Weave. Some people like these different armor styles just because the looks of them. So really any armor that has a defense value of above 400 is going to be good, man. Like, the Mage Plate is the only exception to this rule because it has a lower defense, but it's still very useful. So now we're going to go into Paladin Shields, going back to shields. These Paladin Shields with 4 open sockets, if they have all res at plus 30, they are going to be worth a lot of high runes. So you guys want to make sure you check all the Royal Shields, the Hyperion Shields, any Paladin Shield that has all res and anything as the second affix, whether it's enhanced defense, maximum durability, any of that, is going to be worth a lot of runes. So make sure you keep a lookout for Paladin Shields, man, especially the 4 open sockets ones. Going back to weapons really quick, I'm going to have to switch back to my other character to pull up more weapons, but this flail right here, 4 open socket, can be used to make Hall of the Arms. which is a very, very good rune word that you definitely want to be on the lookout for, and you definitely want to be on the lookout for these 4 open socket flails, man. Going back to armor really quick, here's a couple of examples of different armor types. They have the Dust Shroud. This is also a very good base right here. 4 open sockets. You can roll a Fortitude in there. Same deal with the Superior Bone Weave. It really just depends on the person you're trying to trade with. Like, if they like the look of this armor, they might pick it up. You never really know. Some people like the look of the Dust Shroud versus the Mage Plate. So those are looking at armors and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and pop back so we can look at some weapons, because weapons are very, very, there's so many different ones, so it's really hard to tell which ones are good, which ones are bad. If you're really low level, you want to be looking out for crystal swords. Crystal swords can be found very early game in normal and nightmare, and a lot of people will prefer to have their spirit in a crystal sword rather than a phase blade, because the requirements are going to be a lot less. So any crystal sword or even a dimensional blade in some cases are going to be worth some runes, especially if it's a phase blade. Now if the player you're trading with wants a phase blades are always going to be the best because they cannot be destroyed. So no matter if you put a Zod rune in it or not, they're just still straight up indestructible. So they're very, very good for any type of rune word. Like, I have a Spirit right here rolled in a phase blade. For another example, I have a King's Grace rolled in another phase blade. So phase blades are worth big money, guys, especially the 5 open socket ones, because you can make grief in there. The 4 open socket ones are valuable because it can be rolled into a Spirit. And even the 3 open socket ones are valuable because they can be made into a Malice or King's Grace or anything like that. But if you guys haven't gotten that far yet, rune swords are pretty good. The damage is almost the same. Like, it's a little bit lower than the phase blade, but rune swords are very good. If you're really, really early game, this is going to be right up there with that crystal sword. The crystal sword would be a little bit better than the rune sword, but if you can't find a crystal sword, go ahead and roll it into a spirit, into a rune sword. So those are going over weapons really quick. Now, weapons for your follower, you definitely want to be on the lookout for threshers. These are very, very good bases. This is a little bit of a later game item. So if you're a little bit earlier in the levels, like let's say 30 to 40, or maybe even 20 to 30, you're going to want to be looking out for Beck de Corbins. Those are also very good. And if you guys are like really just low level, you can any polearm will be worth it, as long as you're trying to use it to either roll an insight or trade it to somebody. But if you're looking for more of the trading for the runes, people are really going to only want threshers, maybe some cryptic axes thrown in there, and some giant threshers. I don't even have a giant thresher because I just haven't found one yet, but giant threshers are going to be great, especially those 4 open socket ones, because then they can be turned into an insight or even an infinity. So that's pretty much it for the modded, or not modded, god man, my head is so, I've been sick, man, these last couple of days. I'm just out of it. But that is going to kind of wrap up this little video. I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what items are kind of worth looking out for that can be potentially used to make rune words. Really, phase blades, crystal blades, Arkhan plate, Mage Plate, you know. We kind of looked at like a little bit of everything. We touched on Paladin Shields. We touched on pretty much all the valuable bases, man. So hope you guys all enjoyed. Definitely be on the lookout for these items. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below if you guys found any of these items, or if you guys want any of these items, because I'm always down to help another player out. And sorry for the lack of uploads the last couple of days. I've been down with the flu, but we're back now. We're going to be cranking out the videos, like always, here on the channel. So finally, I'd like to thank you for watching, man. I might have a little bit of a different stream going on later tonight, where we play that new Warzone mode, King Kong versus Godzilla, because it just looks so cool, and I love King Kong and Godzilla. So thanks to you all for watching. Hope to catch y'all in a future video coming out soon. Stay safe, stay happy, stay gaming. Peace.